It's my pleasure to introduce Mary Evers. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Thanks
too.
for taking the time to talk to me.
You're welcome.
Mary, you're a licensed clinical social worker, a primary therapist in our women's program at Princeton House Behavioral Health in Morristown, our outpatient site.
Yes.
How long you been there?
6 years.
And doing the same thing that
Yes.
that whole time?
Yes, therapist.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I've been in the field for about almost 20 years now. And I got started late because I stayed home and raised my kids. I just have always had an interest in addiction and women's issues. So I started working I volunteered I lived in Collingswood for a long time, and I worked with the police department to start their first domestic violence crisis outreach team. And I was always interested in trauma. So I studied at the Psychoanalytic Institute for 2 years in Philadelphia, learning a lot about, why we do the things we do.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people think that some people choose to be addicts, but honestly, I can say I've never met a woman yet who chose to be an addict. Most of them have severe trauma that they just never have dealt with. So I was always really interested in Princeton House because I would send people there all the time for treatment. And one day I was just looking through jobs, and I saw they were hiring a therapist in their trauma program. So I was so interested.
You were the perfect person.
I sent my resume, and I met with Natalie at that time, and she hired me. So I have loved it since then.
It's very impressive to me. And it's not only impressive to me, but you're very impressive to your coworkers and your clients. So I don't know if you've heard these comments that we've gotten from others, but let me take a minute to embarrass you and read them, because you're obviously very special. From your coworkers, it says, her empathy and compassion show through. She gives back to the community in a meaningful way. Mary makes sure that all clients have a positive experience and feel supported. She puts clients' needs first and foremost. She consistently goes above and beyond. It's inspiring to watch Mary work with clients and their families. So those are the people you work with who really know you. And then your clients, Mary pushed me to reach for and meet goals that I had never thought I could. She's the most compassionate person I've ever met. She's magical. She's kind. Mary leads the most relatable, heartfelt group discussions. She's changed my life. She has faith in me. Mary has created a totally safe environment that I need for healing. Through her eyes, I was able to see the recovery was possible. That's pretty spectacular stuff. Why do you think you're so successful?
I think because I get it. I understand it. I know where they're coming from, and I can relate to them.
Right.
And I've learned that most people really do want help. They just don't know how to ask for it. So if there's somebody who can sort of reach in and help pull it out, they connect to that.
People obviously know that you genuinely care about them. There's no, you can't fake that, right? And they see that.
They do.
Makes it so much easier for them to relate to you, and you see that in the comments that they're making about you. Well, we're lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.